What's up, Type Beasts? Today we're going to be working on a request video to do a typography lesson on the thank you for shopping with us graphic you see here. We're going to be working on making this in Adobe Illustrator and creating some of the connections like you see here and some of the swashes like you see in the T and the H and so on here. So let's just open up an Illustrator file. File new. Just going to name this thank you. For the width and the height, I'm going to choose 1000 pixels. You can change your units here. And for the color mode, RGB is fine. Click OK. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my reference file. We're not going to be doing a live tracing of this. We're going to recreate it from scratch. So you can kind of do it yourself and recreate your own graphic with maybe your own phrase or type execution or whatever you want. So all I'm doing now is I'm just cropping this. Just doing a quick crop. Nothing too important. Because we are just going to lock this layer. So just in the layers, I'm locking it. That way we can't move it around anymore. And I'm going to name it reference just so I know where I'm at. And then we'll create a new layer on top of this and just name it work layer, something like that. Okay. So I'm going to change this white fill just to black, just so we can see what we're doing. Then I'm going to go to the type tool. Just going to write the words thank. Hit escape to get the transform panels around it. Then I'm just going to hold shift and drag out these corners just so we can see the graphic that we're working with. Okay, now I'm going to change the font in the character panel here. The font that I'm looking for is this Bookman BT Italic. This is a free font. I think it's an Adobe CC font as well, but I'll leave a link for this font in case you don't have CC. It is a free font. So that's kind of what we're going to be working with. I can tell a few problems off the bat. We're going to need to bring these letters in a little bit. I'm going to have to thicken them up. And that's even before we get to a lot of the swashing and stuff like that. So I'm just going to create a rough copy of how this looks. Just dragging copies, typing them out real quick. Okay, yeah, just like that. Just going to center these up now. So just highlighting all of them, I'm going to the Align panel. I'm making sure I am aligned to Artboard. You can change that here. I'm just going to center it up. And I'll just manually push these up, because if I center all of them like that, they'll just come together. And we're going to be changing them a little bit. Made it a little big. So just going to tighten it up a little bit like that. Okay. So this is kind of what we're working with as a base. I know that they don't look, they don't look correct right now, but that's what we're going to fix. Sometimes you don't have all the fonts and all the stuff that you need. So this is a good way just to learn how to build your own letters and build your own type. So the first thing that we're actually going to work on is just the kerning. That's just the space between the letters. As you can see, this T and the H are pretty close in this. Pretty much all the letters are a lot closer. So we're just going to tighten up the kerning, and then we'll probably work on the boldness of our version afterwards. So I like to do the kerning pretty manually. So just clicking between the letters like this, you can hold Option and hit your arrow key, and that can adjust the letters individually instead of just going to character and just hitting like the tracking here. That would bring them all together. Oops. Let me show you what that would do. So yeah, if you were to work on the tracking, that would bring them all together kind of uniformly. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I just, I'm a nerd, so I prefer to just bring them in manually. And we're even going to change that a little bit later. So we're going to keep these pretty tight, because they are pretty tight in the graphic itself. And I'm just going to do this for the entire graphic. So I'm just going to pull this in pretty far, pull the U in pretty far as well. Let's get these in there. I mean, even this we can bring in, do it about here. And yeah, kind of an idea for kerning is just pretending there are balloons between the letters, and you're trying to get equal space between all of the letters. So imagine like a balloon like compressing with the air, and just trying to keep the same size balloons in there without bringing it in too tight and popping the balloon, or going out too wide and just the balloon being loose and flabby in there. Ugh, no one likes that. Ugh. Okay, just gonna keep bringing these in one by one. Again, just bringing it in pretty tight. I don't want to go too tight just yet because we are going to be thickening up the letters. So we want to give it a little bit of space. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that there. Bring these in a bit more. I actually like that one a little bit further away. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Good starting point right here. Gonna test something out really quick too. I might change the rotation a little bit. Ooh, I think that works. Yeah, instead of having it at the 0 character rotation, let's just go up to 1%. I think that looks good. That also gave us a little bit of space to thicken it up a little bit. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'll bring up my ruler so you can see kind of the baseline gets shifted a bit too much. So I am going to undo that. Yeah, we'll just keep it here. Okay, now our baseline is a lot more consistent, better for a type execution. So that was a bad experiment, but hey, that's why we do them. We kind of work with it and see what works the best. So, oh, now I got this here. Get that out of here. Go away. Okay. Now that we have just kind of the rough that we want, actually looking at it now, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Get rid of you. There we go. Just just kind of eyeballing it, just getting it about how I want. And once you are satisfied with that, we're just gonna highlight everything, and holding Option, you should see this like double icon come up. We're just gonna click and drag a copy off of the side. In case we mess this up and want to come back to our original. So now we're going to outline the text. So this is going to essentially destroy the text as live type and turning it all into vector shapes. So go to Type, go to Create Outlines, and you'll see all of these points come up. And yeah, now it's not a font anymore. So I can't go in with the font tool and edit anything. It's just going to like type new stuff. It's not going to let us. So that's why we keep this over here. We keep this live in case we want to go back and change it up a little bit. I don't know why I had to be so rude there, but we're going to keep it moving. Okay. So now that we have all of the type outlined, we want to thicken it up a little bit. We want some of these thicker bars like we see here. And the way we're going to do that is just by adding a stroke. This isn't, probably some type people will get mad at me for doing this, but I don't care because it works. See, already that looks a lot closer to, the original graphic here. So I'm just going to, I think that's a little bit too thick. We're going to go to about 6. I think that looks really nice, actually. I think that's pretty good stuff. Okay, so that's a pretty good start, actually. I think it looks really clean. Maybe bring the shopping down a little bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty clean. I mean, even looking at the raw graphic here, there's like a lot of problems. So yeah, as long as we're starting clean and keeping it clean the whole way, I think we're going to be all right. So yeah, I like that. Looking at it a bit more. So what I'm going to do is make another copy. Just kind of keeping the steps, that we make along the way. Just in case we go back and say we want to make it thicker or thinner, we can just start back from here and just, re-edit it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to expand all of this. So we want the stroke and the fill to be one object. We don't want them to be two separate objects. So let's go to Object and Expand with everything highlighted. Expand the fill and the stroke. That's exactly what we want to do. And I like to expand a few times. Sometimes it takes a time or two to get everything. And yeah, just like that, we want to see like kind of all these internal lines like this, because now with everything still highlighted, we're going to unite all of these graphics. So we're going to get rid of some of this noise in here. So just again, with everything highlighted, just hit Unite, and that's going to expand everything. And now we just have a single graphic with no stroke. This is all just a black fill now. And now everything's probably connected, so we're just going to ungroup all of this. That way we can move everything line by line, or even letter by letter. I actually kind of like it letter by letter. Alright, yeah, this is how we want it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to just start with the T. As you can see, there's like this really curly swash here that connects. Really nothing about this T matches this T. So we're just going to get rid of this whole top section. So yeah, the way that we're going to do that is we're just going to start taking away those anchor points. So hitting minus on your keyboard, you can also go to the pen tool drop down. It'll be here, delete anchor point tool. We're just going to kind of click through here. There are other ways you can do it. You could just make it a compound path and cut it off like just with a rectangle or something like that. But I kind of like doing it this way. But do it however you want to do it. Actually, I do want to kind of separate this a bit. So I do like how this is connecting already, but this is already causing me some issue. So what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to just scissor this up. So hitting C, go into the scissors tool, I'm going to create two sections here. That way we can separate this T. I'm going to go to intersect so it keeps that here. Okay, I kind of messed that up, but what I'm going to do, I didn't have those letters separated quite enough, so I'm just going to create a copy up here. Now selecting my square and this, I'm going to hit intersect, which is going to keep everything inside the square. So now we have our T, and now I can just kind of get rid of all of this junk here. And yeah, there we go. Now I have everything separated. Put it back on the baseline. Just gonna highlight and double click the T's just so that's the key object. And let's just align the bottoms here. There we go. Oh, that didn't really work. One more down. There we go. That looks better. Okay, now that I have my T separated, still a couple of anchor points that I don't really like. Get rid of all this. There we go. That's more of what I want to see. So now we're just going to recreate this shape, just this curving shape here. So the way that I'm going to do that, it kind of curves down slightly, then curves back up, and then does this nice circle here. So we're just going to use the pen tool to kind of recreate this shape kind of loosely. So hitting P on your keyboard, you'll get the pen tool here. And I'm just going to follow the curve of this. Just going to do it about right here. And then we're just going to pull out sideways till it kind of matches the curve that we want. Let's change that to a stroke. Then it goes down, goes back up, and then curves around. So let's go back up to about here. And we're gonna click and kind of pull down in the same direction as these lines here. So just showing you again, it's gonna start, gonna pull down here. Then we're gonna go about right here and pull it back up. Actually, I need one on the bottom as well. Go here. Then we'll go back up. Seems like this one, I lost a curve on that. Gonna edit these quick. Using the direct select. Oh man, this got all out of whack. Alright, here we are. So just kind of play with your pencil until you get sort of what you're looking for and what you like. Maybe you don't need this to curve up so much. Maybe you need it to curve a little bit more. But yeah, just the kind of the key of it is just keeping those like handles kind of pulled out. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, I'm getting some noise here. There we are. Just editing it little by little till you get kind of the clean curve that you want. I think that looks pretty nice. Maybe going a little bit further down with that. All right, and once you kind of have the curve that you want, we're just going to go to the width tool. So that's a Shift W, or you can click this drop down here. It's the width tool. And yeah, we want to kind of pull it out a little bit until we create just the shape that we want. I can see it has a square edge, so we're going to go over here to the stroke panel and hit this round cap. There we go. Pull it in here a little bit more. Kind of follow along. It's pretty thick the whole way through. So we're going to pull up the thickness here a bit more. Maybe even here, over here a little bit. And now using the direct select, we're going to kind of pull this down. Help our curve a little bit as well. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Pull up these anchors a bit just so everything is connected. Yeah, it looks kind of wonky. Don't like it. Do this another way. It's going to create a circle here. I want this, but I don't want this section kind of from 12 to 3. So yeah, we'll go here. I'm going to click that. Then I'm going to click up here and just kind of draw what I want. Then using the anchor point tool, just pull a curve like that. That looks a lot better actually. I'm glad I did that. Just starting with a circle kind of helped. So now pretty much doing the same thing. Maybe pull this out a bit more. There we are. Didn't mean to do that. Highlight all of these, bring them down. Just kind of smoothing out that curve. I'm using the width tool to thicken this up. Gonna go a bit thinner here. Then we're gonna kind of beef it up on the end. Bring that down. Actually, bring both of these down. Maybe all three. Jeez. There we are. Kind of went high with it. Bring that down. Bring all three of these down. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good actually. There's a little bit of issue here. But what we're going to do, just going to pull a copy of that line here. Then we're going to expand this. So go into Object, Expand Appearance. You can see kind of where we're having some issue. So it's going to bring these down a bit. Maybe I don't even need this anchor point. It's going to take it away. And there's a little noise here as well. Take away some of these gross anchor points just with the minus tool again. And then direct select. Pull this over. Yeah, just until we have, just a clean line like that. And yeah, actually kind of want to pull this over here a little bit more. And yeah, since we have everything separated, that's a lot easier. Nice. Now that we have that, let's work on creating this loop of the H. So we're going to kind of do it a similar way. It doesn't have a serif here, so I'm just going to hit minus. This one's connected to the A as well. So what I'm going to do is cut the A here to here. I don't know. Let's go back. I'm going to have to do the same thing like I did with the T. So what's going on is we have this full shape. I am just going to copy that. Pull it up here. And then I'm going to highlight roughly here. I'm going to use the direct select to kind of pull. We can do it like this just so we see what we're working with. Just going to pull in between these shapes. Oop, don't want to cut off that F at the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to highlight both of these. Go to Pathfinder and intersect. Alright, kept the wrong thing because I'm dumb. Yeah, what I actually wanted to do, I didn't want to hit intersect, I wanted to hit minus front. Okay. And now that I have them separated, it's going to highlight all of those anchor points, get rid of some of this noise here. And connect these last two. There we are. Alright, so, kind of, again, not the cleanest way to have handled that. Probably could have just gone back and separated the letters a bit better. But, live and learn. Alright, now that I have them separated, I can get rid of these. Just so I have a clean area to work with to just kind of do this curve. And yeah, I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to just kind of do a circle. Just something like that. And I'm going to cut off the top half using the scissors tool. Let's get rid of that. And kind of like rough it. We just want kind of this little half circle here. Kind of goes, yeah, to about the middle of the A. Just gonna angle it a bit, just so we kind of want it to come down here cleanly. So again, using the pen tool, I'm gonna click on this anchor point so I can like start another line. And yeah, just like that. Let's just pull a curve down so it matches up really nicely. Has a good little hook there. Oh, let's go to the stroke panel. It still has the corner caps. So let's do the round cap and the round join. And then back with the width tool. I'm gonna pull it up fat here. Pull it fat here. Pull it fat up here as well. Till it kind of matches that H. And yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. I'm going to thin it up at the bottom here a little bit. Looks like it gets a little thinner in the original graphic. Yeah, it's a bit too thin. Yeah, just like that. We'll thicken this one up a little bit too. And it also looks like we're off just a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to curve it in. Yeah, just like that. That looks pretty nice, actually. That came out better than I expected. Alright, and now that we have these kind of where we want, I'm again just going to pull a copy up even before we expand it. And then we're going to expand this. So clicking that shape we just made, going to go to expand appearance. Then we're going to click this shape, and we're going to unite those. So now we have all of this as a single shape. And if you'd like to, you can connect the whole T and the H. I don't think I'm going to go back to fix those. I think I like them. So yeah, just kind of keep that connection solid. I think that looks pretty good. All right, and now we're just going to move on. The A, I'm not really going to change. I kind of like that look. Same with the N. We could like change the serif down a little bit, but I like our serif more, so I'm just going to keep it. We already have this connection at the bottom, so that works. But yeah, for the K, we got to draw kind of this swash here. So this is going to be easier since the K isn't connected to anything. So just hit the minus tool. We're just going to click around all of these anchor points. Yeah, just like that. So now we can just draw our own swash from scratch. So we have that really flat, and it's just a kind of a light curve into that. So we're going to get a little looser with it, just using the pen tool, P on your keyboard. Just going to click in here. Then I'm just going to go somewhere out here and just kind of draw a curve. Oops, that's a fill, so let's switch that to a stroke. And let's turn it to the round corner and the round join as usual. So yeah, just something like that. Looks like it has kind of a fat end piece to it. Gets a little thinner over here, but pretty thick at the top. So let's just go to the top. Kind of thicken that up. Then we'll go here. And just ever so slightly thin it out. Maybe change the angle of this so it looks a little bit nicer. Something like that. It's still a little wonky to me, so change it up. Yeah, somewhere over here. And yeah, I went a little bit too wide, so just gonna, yeah, just kind of manage it like that. Maybe again here, thin it up slightly. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Yeah, you can edit it how you want. I kind of like the style. So yeah, just gonna keep it moving. Now for the U, this one still kind of a difficult swash, but we can use the circle to make it easier. It's definitely less difficult than the T. Um, I'm not even gonna worry about the serif because we kind of want to work off of that serif, but we do just want, like, again, this little half circle and then it to go straight into it. So what we're gonna do is just draw a circle around here. Maybe you can like use this as kind of a guide. Yeah, something like that. Then we're gonna just come off the side, just like this, and we want pretty much all of this area and this to go straight back into it. So we're just gonna cut off. Oops, using the scissors tool. We're gonna cut off 3 o'clock to 12, just like that. And then using the pen tool, we're gonna click. You see that little diagonal icon? We're gonna click and then just go straight, just like that. Oops. I'm gonna bring the whole thing down. I didn't mean to do that. Bring the whole thing down, just kind of the center. We already have our round cap and join on this one. And just like we did with the other one, just gonna pull kind of a circle, or pull this using the width tool. Pull it kind of fatter here, then pretty fat up here as well. Let's do it from here. You just kind of pull it till you see that serif and the width of your new line match up. Just a little bit more. Yeah, just like that. Kind of gets a little bit thinner. And we curve up a little high, but actually I like that a bit more. So I'm going to keep it. Maybe get a little thinner up here. Yeah, I think that looks rad. Yeah, I'm going to keep pulling it. Yeah, just just kind of personal preference. Kind of like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. And now, yeah, not going to change the O or the U. We're just going to straight for the F. Again, we don't have this serif here, so I'm just going to use the minus tool. Just kind of get rid of this noise. Yeah, just like that. And yeah, we're just going to kind of draw, just kind of loosely draw from the center here. Another swash. So again, pen tool. Click in the center. I'm just going to go about here somewhere. Oops. Switch that to a stroke. Get the round cap and the round join. And then the width tool. Just pull out these until they kind of match your letter. Maybe pull it up a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Looks like I can kind of edit the actual bar to help that out a little bit. Then we're going to go here somewhere and thin it out just slightly. Bring that down till it matches a little bit better. Maybe here, but I'm a little bit too wide. Couple more issues with that. I like the general look of it. Actually, I'm just going to hit back a couple of times. I think I started out way better. Yeah, just like that, actually. We could, like, thicken this up a bit more. But I would like to thin that out slightly if we're doing that. And then we get the problem here. Okay, I think that's nice though. We can edit, like, just there's a little bit of weirdness here. We can kind of fix that later. But yeah, gonna keep this going for now. And now the same thing with the R, just kind of hooks out a little bit. We're gonna draw our own. So again, using the minus, delete anchor point tool, just minus on your keyboard. Just gonna get rid of these extra anchor points until we just have it flat. Yeah, just like that. Then we're just gonna draw this hook. So using the pen tool, just gonna kind of go. Yeah, just something like that. Switch that to a stroke. Turn our caps around again. And just thicken it up. In both the front and the back. I'm a little high, so not like that. I was a little high on the on this bar here. Just tighten that up a little bit. Actually, I think I hook a little bit too far, so I'm just gonna hit plus. I'm gonna add an anchor there, and then I'm gonna hit minus, and just shorten that up a little bit. I think that's closer to the graphic. Yeah, I like that a bit more. Change the curve a little bit more if you'd like. I think I'm good with that. I think that looks cool. All right, now we're on to yeah, some of the funkier swashes. Yeah, this S one is going to be a little bit difficult, but yeah, I think we can get through it. So let's go ahead and tackle it. So it looks like we don't need either serif. So I'm just going to hit the minus tool, start getting rid of all these. Yeah, something like that. And I'm going to do the same here. Just so we have, yeah, just kind of the base of the shape that we want. I'm going to do the bottom one first. Kind of just looks like it hooks like this. So using the pen tool, click, and I'm going to drag out. Just kind of like this. Maybe keeping them semi-symmetrical. Pull it out a little bit more. Turn that to a stroke around the corner and cap. Then use the width tool. Pull this a bit. And pull this one a bit as well. Yeah, I think that looks nice. A couple little things to switch up and change. Maybe that's a bit too wide. Maybe that's a bit too wide. Match them up a little bit better. I think that looks nice, actually. That looks pretty good. And now we're gonna do this like kind of figure 8 swash. So I'm gonna use the pen tool, kind of pull up here, pull down here. Then I'm gonna pull up here and pull down here. We're kind of having the same problem that I did with the T, so maybe I will start with the circle. I'm gonna pull my circle. And I'm gonna cut from about 4 or 5 o'clock to 12. Get rid of that. And then using the pen tool, look at it again, kind of hooks down and back into it. So I'm going to hook down and back in. Tighten that up a bit. Then using the width tool, fatten these up, fatten you up. I'm not getting a lot of curve here, so make that curve a bit better. These are a little high. Pull them down. And then yeah, I'll thin it out a little bit more on the sides here. Nice. I think that looks pretty good. Kind of getting into the final stretch now. Yeah, we have another swash like this, but it kind of mirrors this one. So all I'm going to do is grab this Y swash and just copy it down straight into that one. I'm going to use the direct select to kind of pull it in a little bit. Just like that. Maybe a bit more. There we are. And it looks like we have this connection with the T, so I'm literally just going to select all of these. Missed this one. And yeah, just kind of like work it into the H like that. Maybe even pull in the H a bit more. Yeah, just like that. I think that's nice. And yeah, for some reason they turned the S upside down, so I'm just gonna direct select this S. Click outside of it so you get these rotates. And I'm just gonna turn it all the way around like that. I'm not sure why they did that, but you know, it's kind of cool, I guess. And yeah, you can get rid of the serif if you want. I kind of like the serif. I don't like how it ends like here. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm gonna do. You can, you know, obviously play around with it a little bit more. You know, just kind of just kern everything how you'd like, get everything just how you want. I'm gonna make one last copy of this. Then we're just gonna expand all of this. Again, I like to expand it a few times. Unite it. Let's turn this bad boy red. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, there's some things I could go in and like really get hyper focused on, clean up a lot of the swashes and stuff, but I'm pretty happy with this. I think I like mine more than the original, if I must pat myself on the back. And now you have this graphic that you can kind of do whatever you want with, you know, print your own stuff. Or it's mostly just about using the techniques and the typography and learning how to build your own swashes and edit your letters. That's more important here. So, you know, create your own graphics, create your own homage to this graphic, you know, mix up the words, you know, make it your own. But yeah, this was a fun tutorial. This was a request, so kind of fumbled through some sections, but hopefully you were able to follow along with me and learn something. I definitely did. So shout out to Nart Glot for requesting this video. This was real fun to do. Sorry it took a while to get out, man. But yeah, hope you like it. Thanks, everyone. Bye.